Welcome to SGTV, and it's time for news. How many large, undiscovered species are still out there? In this edition of Ask a Marine Biologist, Dr. David Schiffman answers a question about what's still lurking in the deep. By David Schiffman. Question: what are the chances we'll discover new large animals, say, larger than 2 meters, in the near future? Jerre, Rotterdam. Answer: it's hard to put an exact number on this, but a taxonomist colleague I asked said probably 100%. Here's why it's so likely: there are new species being described constantly. There were 359 new species of fishes, including freshwater fishes, described in the year 2020, for example, as well as many ocean invertebrates. Some of those are pretty small, however, and you asked about bigger animals. As I've noted in a past column, scientists describe a new species of shark, or related animal, about every 2 weeks. Sometimes these new species result from new research expeditions, while sometimes it's a case of scientists finally getting to analyze samples taken years or even decades ago. A new species of whale was described as recently as January. So there's still plenty of big stuff still out there. I would like to note here why I'm using the term described instead of discovered, which has become somewhat loaded in terms of equity, diversity, and inclusion issues in the sciences. Discovered is often used to refer to a Western, usually white, usually male, scientist who traveled on a romanticized expedition to some far-off exotic land, rarely noting that people live in those places and have known about that new species for millennia. Think of CNN's coverage earlier this year of Jane Spilsbury's discovery of whales in Kenya. How did this London lawyer discover the giant animals in these waters? By speaking with local fishermen, who told her, "Sure, we've seen them for 30 years. So, generally, when I talk about new species, I talk about species being newly described by Western science. For more on this topic, read Asha de Voss's excellent article on the problems of colonial science. How is it possible that there are so many undescribed species? There are 2 main reasons. First and foremost, the ocean is large and most of it is very difficult to access with scientific research equipment. Secondly, the process of describing new species and how they fit into the existing tree of life, known as taxonomy, is complex and requires advanced technical training, and there aren't nearly enough taxonomists out there. For what's probably obvious reasons, it's hard to know exactly how many species that haven't been described yet are out there, but estimates range from a lot, millions, to a whole lot, nearly 1 trillion. According to the World Register of Marine Species, scientists have described about 200,000 species of ocean animals so far, of which more than half are arthropods or mollusks. It's exciting to know that number will likely be much larger a decade from now.